Welcome to Holding Space. Michael Zen is a visual producer and creative photographer using his imaginative visionary energy to channel Zen and hold space for spiritual and innovative discussion. Each episode creates a supportive, accepting, and open environment that allows exploration and expertise to come together with engaging and entertaining convergence. With guest and community all helping the shape of the way, Michael is grateful to be together to hold space. Now here is your host of Holding Space, Michael Zen.
Hello, and welcome to Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday, October 7th. That's what we're going to call it for now. You have arrived at the moment of holding space here on the Sacred Spiral Network. This is an intentional moment that I created to hold space for amazing human beings. That is the human beings that are out there listening, you guys. Thank you for showing up. And a special guest usually. And tonight I have a special guest as always. What's up, CJ? And I will be talking to her very shortly and introducing her as well. But before I do that, I have my regular guest. Some of you guys know my sacred bowl, my singing bowl sage. I like to sage the space sonically, clear it out with a little frequency and a little breathing. I like to get onto the same page, feel that physiological buzz and just that moment of grounding. So we're going to take 3 breaths together. We're going to take them in through the nose, and then we're going to push them out through the mouth. And what I want you guys to do is when you're breathing in, intentionally feel like you're bringing in love, you're bringing in light, you're bringing in hope, the good things that you want. And when you're pushing out, you're letting go of the things that you just didn't want today, getting stuck in traffic or whatever it might be, stubbing your toe, getting in an argument with somebody, anything that you don't need, you can let go of it. So that's what I like to do at the beginning of the show, put us all in the same place. So let's do that with the bowl of sage. Everybody, here we go. Breathing in through the nose. Pushing it out, letting go. Breathing in all the good stuff, pushing out all that we don't need. One last one together. Making a nice deep one, a little extra. And push it out. Push out the extra. And feel that reminder of how amazing breathing is, how simple it is, and how it connects you to yourself, to life, to that physiological little buzz that you feel right now. I'm really excited tonight. I have a guest. You guys know my shows are a mix of people who I know and I'm very interested in and love talking to, and then people who I don't know who I love to get to know and get to know what they're all about. A lot of the times I'm talking to metaphysical, gifted folk, and that's not different tonight, I don't think. My guest has a website called Edify Your Soul. So I'm imagining there's a lot to do with the soul and the energy and the beingness and the essence of who we are. So I would like to welcome to Holding Space, Laurie McKeogh Smith. Welcome, Laurie. How you doing?
Hi, thank you.
Good to see
So
you.
happy to be here.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming. As I said to the audience, we haven't met. I don't really know much about you. I love that Kelly hooking me up with amazing people. Quick shout out to Kelly Brickle from the Sacred Spiral Network and this amazing network of shows she's created. The people that I see on all of the different shows, because I actually tune into a lot of the shows, are so amazing. The conversations are really high level and introspective. So, Laurie, what brings you to the Sacred Spiral Network?
I have no idea. Kelly, I've been on with Kelly and Jennifer, and they're all awesome. So when Kelly asked me to join in, I said sure. So
You
let's
knew it was
see.
going to be fun no matter what.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what are we going to do?
Well, tell me about yourself and about your website and about your relationship to source. Really, that's kind of, I think that's really the commonality of the stories, right? Is that everybody's got a unique
Absolutely.
connection to source and
We all
expresses
have
it
yeah,
differently.
we all have a story. So about, I guess, 11 years ago now, I became ill. I had a autoimmune disease that affected my brain.
Oh wow.
And I spent a little over a month in the hospital. I was in the neuro ICU. People thought I had early Alzheimer's. I was sort of like a dementia patient. No one knew what was wrong with me. Gave me a lot of time to just be. I mean, my life came to a screeching halt. I was a single mom, 2 little kids, soccer mom, the whole thing. And that all just stopped. And while I was in the hospital, like I always say, that's really where I learned gratitude, because I just knew I would get out of there. I knew they would figure out what to do with me eventually. But I knew many of those people would never get out of that hospital. And that is when I learned gratitude. My life got a complete reset. It took me about 2 years to get back to some kind of normal. I didn't drive. I didn't even cook for myself for 2 years. Needed help doing everything. And during those 2 years, I started talking about things that other people didn't know. And
Like, what
I'd
do you mean?
say, I don't know how I knew that. Why don't you know that?
Oh,
And then
okay,
I would
okay.
talk about people that had passed away, just like they were sitting here with you and I. And I got all those funny looks because I knew what a medium was. I had been to psychics before. I was still kind of a skeptic. Didn't really know, really what I thought. And someone finally said, you're a medium. And I was like, and it just goes from there.
So what were those experiences like when if you were in a room with someone and you were were you talking to somebody who had passed? Was it a physical experience? What was that?
I remember one of the first times I had a lot of aides and therapists helping me. And it was like a Monday, people were talking about their weekend, and someone showed a family photo from the weekend. They had a barbecue, and I said, "Oh, how's your dad since the heart surgery?" And they all looked at me and said, "How would you know he had heart surgery?" And I said, "Well, there's a scar on his chest." And then they said, "He's wearing a shirt. How would you know that?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just see it." So it was like all of
Wow.
those senses that we talk about just sort of happened, just kind of like busted open naturally.
Wow.
And then I would just have incredible insight. Someone would start talking about their relationship, and I would speak of it as if I knew what was going on.
Knew the situation. Yeah.
And I kind of was shocking people a lot because I did not understand what was going on.
Wow. And so it was just like a knowing. You would just speak from like your intuition, like
Yeah,
you would
like,
just join in a conversation with what you knew of the conversation.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So
That's interesting.
I was actually very soon I was doing readings. So it's kind of not the norm. Usually we spend quite a bit of time studying and taking classes, and it was the only thing that made sense to me. It was the most natural thing
So you felt like you knew how to do a reading without going to any sort of like intuitive development
I
class
did.
or anything like that.
I did. I couldn't cook a chicken or I couldn't drive a car, but I could, connect, and I learned how to heal, and I learned I had some healing abilities, and
Mhm.
it's been pretty amazing.
That's interesting. And I know there's a story. There's a guy who very similar had a traumatic injury, and then kind of when he came out of it was clairvoyant and had,
Mm,
uh, metaphysical senses, were awakened
yeah.
in some way.
Hmm.
And I see Michael Christopher out there. What's up, Michael Christopher? Good to see you. Yeah, and so okay, so you had an injury, and after you
And a near
recovered
death. I did have a near death experience.
at the time of the injury, or separate?
Yes, while I was in the hospital, and
Okay,
I also since then had a shared death experience,
a shared death experience. Tell me
which
about that.
people don't talk too much about that.
No.
That was fascinating. With my own near death experience, I saw the light. I felt like I was in the presence of something more amazing than we could ever imagine.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Um, and that taught me a sense of peace. It taught me that the ending will be okay,
mhm,
no matter what we're going through.
mhm,
I always say I wish I could kind of loan that experience to people, because it's
mhm,
so easy to get caught up in the everyday stress and um, just hustle and bustle. And that really taught me how to put things into perspective, I would say.
mhm,
Relax a little bit more, live in the moment.
mhm. And how would you define that experience? I mean, what do you think? What do you think happened?
What do I think happened? I think I received a, I think I got to see the coming attractions
Mm,
of
mm,
what happens when we leave our physical body.
okay.
I got to see
Okay.
a little bit of it. And I know that everyone's near death experience is different. And I
Mhm,
think we're given what we need
mhm, mhm,
to
mhm.
get through this life.
Yep.
And what I needed to know is that there is something more than just us.
Mhm,
There is love waiting for us.
mhm, mhm,
And it makes this life a little bit easier to deal with.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I feel like, kind of the vibe of the Sacred Spiral Network and
Hmm.
metaphysical exploration, it's very much about love. You hear
Hmm.
that a lot. Like the frequency of love is source. You hear a lot of people talking about that.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's through your connection with that and through my connection with that and the community of people here, you know channel that frequency through their own essence,
Hmm.
and then so other people can feel it, and who maybe haven't felt it, like you said, you wish you could loan that experience, right, to
Yeah,
people. um
absolutely.
because I feel like, yes, every near death experience is different, and even like I said, every psychic medium is different. Everybody's got a little nuance of how
Hmm.
they experience it, but there is an underlying similarity. And you said the bright light, you said you experience something beyond anything we can experience.
Yeah, we
um
could imagine.
we can imagine, right? And
Yeah,
I love that, because I feel like that's I break it down to a simpler thing, right? Because a lot of people do struggle on a day-to-day basis with life. Life is
absolutely.
so hard. Life is so hard. But one of the things I think that people, um, what's the right word I'm looking for? That people impose on themselves is that life is finite, and the fear of death, and
Hmm.
what happens after this life. And
Hmm.
I think, the difference between struggling and feeling like, oh my God, what happens after this life, to knowing everything is going to be okay, even better,
Yeah. Yeah.
then there's no struggle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Life becomes way
Absolutely.
less difficult, I think.
And I think something happens to us. I think the people that have had near-death experiences,
Mhm.
took me a long time to start talking about that because, there's always that fear that people will just think we're crazy.
Sure.
But, there's energy. A lot of us have trouble with electronics. That's like actually a known thing for people that have had near-death experiences.
Sure.
We just I don't know. I'd like to think of it as maybe that light supercharged me.
Sure. Sure. Well, I definitely talk about the idea of everything is energy, right? Source is energy, and everything is kind of
Hmm.
built off of that. Different aspects of energy, everything's got
Hmm.
its own energetic signature. And I think even us as beings, we have our own energetic signature, and I don't think that we're really taught that basic principle,
Yes.
because then I think more people would be responsible for that energetic signature, and you would realize, like,
Yeah.
the way you travel through life and interact with people, that becomes your essence, that becomes your energetic signature, and
Right.
you can go through life and not give that any mind and just let it be what it is, and affected by what's happening to you, and blame it on, oh well, this happened to me, that's why I'm this way. Or you can be some way intentionally that you
Hmm.
want to be, and that you'd like to see. And again, I think that that's a big part of the sacred spiral network to
Absolutely.
me,
Yeah.
to see the people living intentionally, right?
Hmm.
So back to you, right? You survived this thing, and you kind of came through wanting to share this experience with other people, because I'm imagining you see a lot of people suffering and having a hard time,
Yes.
and you're like, why? Why? It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So so tell me how you do that through your readings and through what you do, how you've found that to be kind of a part of your path,
Yeah,
your mission.
absolutely. But I did promise I would talk about the shared death experience.
Oh, yes, we didn't even get to that. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Sometimes the conversation just goes where it goes, but
I
I
know.
I've never even
I
heard
know.
of a shared what is a shared death experience? Let's talk about that first.
Well, I didn't know what it was until it happened to me, and I went and, Google is our best friend, right? Went and found
Sure.
out what it is. During the height of COVID, that was just a remarkable period. I learned so much about energy and healing and
Mhm.
connection, and my own sort of mini miracles of healing. But there was one night, early morning, where I was in bed, sleeping, kind of in another state. And all of a sudden, I found myself with another person. They didn't have a physical body, they didn't have a name to me,
Mhm.
but it was just a knowing that I was with someone.
Mm.
And we were both floating above his physical body. And I saw him being shocked. I sort of felt that feeling of his soul being released. And we just literally shared that space
Mm.
of being, I don't know where, nowhere and everywhere at the same time.
Mm.
And I first asked him, why me? Because I was aware that him and I were just together.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the answer I got without words was, why not?
Hmm.
And that moment taught me that we truly are all connected. And at that moment, I felt like he was my brother, father, sister, mother,
Mm.
everything all in one. It was just
Connected, right.
this connection with this other soul.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I said, who are you? And he said, again, just the thought that was in my head, when you wake up, look at Facebook and you will know.
Wow.
And he went that way. I just felt this energy go over there. And I knew that it was my turn to just come back. So I woke up and now completely in my human, mind, I was like, oh, because at that time there were so many people passing away. So I clicked on Facebook, cringed, and my friend who's an ER physician, his story came up. And I said, rest in peace. I don't even remember his name. And I say that actually out of respect for him. It's not that, oh, she can't even remember his name. It's like the name was the least important part of this person. I got to meet the actual essence of this beautiful soul.
Wow.
And who he was here is, I don't know who he was here, but I know him in here. And it was someone that worked for the hospital. It was a healthcare worker that had just passed away that morning.
Wow. Yeah, this is so fascinating. Geraldine says, I agree. This is fascinating. So do you feel like your energy was pulled into his situation? He was actually passing away physically.
Yeah, it was just, why not me? Just needed someone. So I can only imagine if I had that connection with that one soul. Imagine how it's going to be when we do cross over and there's just an infinite number of people and love and the ability to communicate without words.
Yeah.
Words can really trip us up.
Totally. I mean, and it's interesting what you're saying, right? Because I'm imagining the idea of source and even at that point kind of there's an aspect of you that's kind of returning to the one the essence of everything, but you're still retaining this individual kind of soul, this individual aspect of yourself. And then I'm thinking of the individual aspect of this other self, right? That would just kind of, it's interesting. Like you said, why me? Like it just called out for a part of itself. And you happen to be the nearest, or
that's awesome.
however that works. Yeah. However that works. That's,
I like that.
Yeah. That's really incredible. And did you ever, so I guess you kind of just felt comfortable where that was. You never like pursued like meeting the person's family or anything like that, or
no, I think about it once in a while, but it's something I guess it makes me feel like some of these human things we think about and get so caught up on is not so important. He knows and I know, like we had that moment, we had that connection. Just like when I had my near-death experience, actually, I never asked what happened in my physical body. I have no idea. And I could care less.
And so your near-death experience was like as a result of an injury, though?
I was in the hospital. I was told I had a seizure.
Okay.
So I remember all the nurses and doctors running in, and I said, what happened? And they said, you had a seizure. And I said, no, I didn't. And that was the last thing I remembered.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's fascinating.
So here you are with this new gratitude for life and this new connection with energy, right? And maybe this non-physical realm or aspect of consciousness. And so how long have you been a medium? How long have you been doing readings?
It's been about 11 years now.
Oh, wow.
And you talked about the struggle and what's it like to help people and through that struggle. Before I went through that, I actually went through a major depression. And another experience, another lesson. I'm very proud and humbled to be able to say I won that battle in this lifetime, with depression. And it's amazing how we attract the people that we can help, and people that will understand. And I've had so many clients I've been blessed to be able to help through their depression,
Mhm.
And it's not like I have some magic wand, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, but validation can be very healing. And often when people are suffering from depression, it's embarrassing. They
Mhm.
can't find the words, don't want to
Mhm.
say it.
Sure.
But there's a good chance if I'm sitting with you, I'm going to pick up on it
Mhm.
because that's
Mhm.
what I do.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So it's been an absolute honor to help people through the hardest, most difficult parts of their life because I've been there.
Yeah,
And
I think that's one of my favorite things to hear mediums say, and kind of
yeah.
validates the authenticity, I think,
Hmm.
of it because, it is really amazing to just by virtue of your own experience creating who you are and then you just being in that person's
Hmm.
presence as who
Yeah.
you are, you know what I mean? That energy,
Yeah.
that,
And
exchange
we're
happens.
vulnerable. And, when I went through the depression years ago, I actually made the choice to go away for treatment for it. It was almost life ending
Mhm.
and life altering.
Mhm. Mhm.
And back then it was, you know, s- something that they didn't talk about as much as they do now. And that was only 11 years ago.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it was so, you couldn't say anything. People might think you were crazy. And
For being depressed or the feelings that you were feeling or
no, for going through that depression and
Mhm,
saying,
mhm,
being able to, or I should say, not being able to really share it. It
mhm,
was something
mhm.
I hid from
Right.
people. And when I did start sharing it, when I started feeling better and shared, you know what, this is what I went through. I went and got help for it.
Mhm.
People turned their back on me.
Really?
People stopped. I was a young mom of two kids, and I guess, some people look at it like they think they can catch it.
Mhm,
Other people don't understand it. Other people I know are going through it themselves, but for some
mhm,
reason could not accept me for the person that I was and what I went through.
mhm, mhm.
So that was a great big battle, you know. Um, but let me tell you, you know, thanks to those people, and I mean it genuinely. Thank you to those people because it made me stronger.
I love that.
And I did survive it. And it made me realize that I can now hold that space for other people.
Mhm, mhm.
If I'm doing a reading and I find out that you are depressed or you're suicidal or anything like that, it's not a shock. It's nothing that we can't deal with.
Right,
We're all dealing with something.
right. Yeah,
And, once it's out, that's half the battle.
yeah,
We
yeah.
all think we're unique.
So let me
Whatever.
ask you a question, and this may be controversial, and I hope this is like I'm hoping this gets received the right way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear this story often, right? About maybe it's not depression, but like really kind of going to a low, right? Going to a
Right.
really low place to then come out as this enlightened, being. And I feel like part of that is experiencing those frequencies and knowing what they feel like versus experiencing higher frequencies and knowing what they feel like and then saying, oh, this is an easy choice, right? If I can go to those lower frequencies and feel that, or I can go to these higher frequencies and feel that. So that's what I'm going to ask about, that I think might be controversial. How much of
That's
this do you
okay.
think is a choice,
Mm,
or not? And I'm not saying that people who are depressed can just choose not to be, right? But
absolutely.
I'm saying, having gone through the experience,
Right.
that kind of empowers them to have that choice. Does that make sense? Does that resonate? Am I way off base? I mean, I've,
Well,
you
I
know
can only speak for me, and
Sure.
maybe my answer will be controversial, but hey, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
For me, depression has never ever felt like something I could choose to be out of.
Okay.
That would, for me, if you told me that I could choose not to be depressed, it would feel like you would tell me that I could just choose not to have a broken leg if my leg was broken,
Right.
you know?
Gotcha. Yep.
Um,
And I would never say that to anybody, by the way.
Oh no, I know. But you know, it's funny, this is coming up. October is actually Depression Awareness Month.
Mm,
Um,
interesting.
so for me, it wasn't a choice. It was something that I had to choose to battle.
Mm-hmm.
That was really
Okay.
difficult because when you're down, you don't have much in you. You know, it takes a village, takes belief in other people. It takes other people believing in you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it takes medication, sometimes it takes therapy, it
Sure.
takes all sorts of things. Um, I'm actually doing a special this month for people who want readings for Depression Awareness Month. And I say, I don't have the magic wand. I can't cure your depression,
Mm-hmm.
but we can, all of us, healthcare workers, healers, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you are, we can all play a role in helping each other heal.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying it, this is called holding space, but even if it's just holding space for someone,
Absolutely. No,
that's
a million percent. I think that's kind of what drew me to this. I am, I never ever thought I would be in front of the camera, an
yeah,
on-screen personality. I was always behind the camera, very, very intentionally behind the camera. I never wanted to be in front of the
right,
camera. But something that kind of happened when I accidentally became, a co-host of a show was this
yeah,
connection with people and this connection with stories and sharing the stories, which is kind of what this show came out of. That desire
yeah,
to allow people to share their story, hold up their piece of the puzzle to other
hmm,
people who might say, "Oh, that kind of looks like my piece. Maybe I fit next to that piece over
right,
there instead of where all the way over here where I'm not fitting." You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I just feel like even bringing that to light, that idea, is helpful to other people who are like, "Oh, I've had an experience like that, and I just,"
yeah,
like you said, you thought you couldn't talk about it, and there were certainly times that you couldn't, and I still feel like, I don't necessarily talk about consciousness and energy and what is all of this stuff,
right.
in the
There's a time and
workplace. You know
place,
what I mean? It's not everyday conversation.
right.
So, again, for me, it's like creating this intentional moment and this intentional place to
Hmm.
have that conversation. That's more my metaphysical
And
gift.
to have that opportunity to be your authentic self.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
we really can't reach that place until we accept ourselves
Mhm.
for our battles. I don't look at it so much as I'll never really say I suffered from, I'll say I battled it and I
Mhm.
won.
Mhm. Mhm.
I won the battle. It's something I'll always own. It's gonna kind of coexist with me,
Right.
but we just
Well,
find that strength.
you said it before, you put it in its place. You're not like upset about it. You're grateful for having gone
Hmm.
through it because you know how it edified your essence and how it helped you
Yeah,
to become who you are. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's like that story I've been telling everybody, and they're gonna all tell me to shut up, about, hey, how's it going? Right? Your moment to answer that question and say, it's going great, or to say, I'm hanging in there, like you're deciding what energy you want to give to that moment.
hmm,
And I think that that's just a microcosm of life. And if we were more aware of the energy that we're bringing to the table in any given moment,
yeah,
we would have better moments.
absolutely,
You know what I mean? And rather
absolutely.
than letting the moment dictate, oh, damn, it's raining. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why I love to see people who just, oh, it's raining, and they go run out in the rain and they love,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? It's like, there you go.
hmm,
That's the way to live life, and just to see things and just
absolutely.
to, to deal.
And
Uh,
I just, I want to say quickly, we didn't plan any of this, and I didn't know we'd be talking about depression, but I always feel like there's a reason for it. And, shout out to anyone battling it. And um, all my information is on here. You're all very welcome to contact me if I can support you in any way. Because literally, if I survived it, anyone can.
I love that. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Edify Your Soul. What are you doing with Edify Your Soul? What is that all about?
So do I get to ask you my question? I love asking
Sure.
people.
I
I'm gonna
love that. I
turn the
love it when
table
people
for a
turn.
moment. What are you doing to edify your soul?
I'm gonna have to say this.
Hmm.
I am that's one thing. I think I am learning every day how to take accountability for my own reality. Create your own
Oh, I
reality.
love that.
It's something that has been coming up for the last couple of months. You don't know the story. My audience knows the story, but I went to Costa Rica on a retreat with my girlfriend,
Yeah.
and a bunch of things happened, and we got married spontaneously.
Oh,
And it was literally the universe telling me you create your own reality. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
amazing.
what's that?
Was that
Yeah,
recently?
just July 11th.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, and it was like in the middle of Costa Rica in a beautiful jungle, with a like a shaman as the
Oh,
officiant.
wow.
You know what I mean? Like and it wasn't like a plant medicine retreat. It was like yoga and breath work, and um, regardless, again, I've told this story, so I don't want to bore my
Yeah.
audience who's been here before, but regardless, it was just there was such a strong essence of taking accountability for the moment and your decisions and your energy and what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
I
listen,
love
that,
that.
like you said, I can't say, oh man, my leg, it's not broken. You know what I mean? If it's broken, it's broken. But I can say, I'm not going to let it bother me. You know what I mean? Or I'll just limp around until it's healed. I'll use this
Yeah,
crutch. You know what I mean? And
great.
not letting that take over and be like, oh yeah, I'm disabled now, or you know what I mean? It's attitude,
Mhm.
gratitude, all of that stuff. Um, so yeah,
That's
perfect.
awesome. Okay, so that was a great answer.
Yeah.
Edify your soul. I think it just encompasses so much. Through my depression, I had a dear friend that helped me. He was just this amazing earth angel that never gave up on me.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, he ended up passing away.
Mm,
His
sorry.
own battles
Mhm.
were great. But in one of his, we emailed back and forth a lot. And in one of his emails, he was kind of giving me that virtual kick in the butt. I don't remember what I was talking about, probably relationships or something.
Mhm, mhm.
And he said, "What are you doing for Laurie? What are you doing to edify your soul?" And I always remembered that. I thought that was just fascinating to hear that. And when I decided to start this um, business, I just knew that would be the name, Edify Your Soul.
Mhm, mhm. Awesome.
So it includes a lot of things, readings. I teach. My latest venture is I have an online magazine, edifyyoursoulmagazine.com.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's all about Jennifer. Yep, Jennifer is a regular
You know what?
contributor.
I have
She's
to check
been
it out.
awesome.
Yeah, I remember seeing her announcement. Yeah,
Kelly
sorry
has
about
been
that.
in it. Amazing people. It consists of interviews and articles, and it's all about how we get through life with the challenges we face. So
Mhm.
far, each issue has had a different topic: domestic violence, surviving loss, relationships.
Mhm.
Just how do we put one foot in front of the other and get up every day and keep it
Mm.
going?
I love that so much, and I'm gonna even answer you, even though I know you're saying it rhetorically. How do we keep going? We do things like you're doing. That magazine has put together these stories, right?
Mm,
That people need to hear. You
right.
know what I mean? And that's edifying your soul. I'm a big fan of public magazine and stuff like that. I've put together
Yeah.
magazines, and I love that.
Oh,
I
that's
love I love
awesome.
curating information, especially when
Mhm.
you've got a specific purpose to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so also what I'm hearing from you is you created your own reality, right?
Mhm.
And with the idea of putting yourself in the position of, when you come to see me, I'm going to pose this question to you. So
Yeah.
basically, let me just kind of think through what I'm thinking here. So
Okay.
you're, because I feel very similar to what it is, and what it is you're holding up a mirror. You're allowing somebody
Mhm.
to see themselves by asking that question. You know,
Yeah.
you're saying, okay, answer this question, because you probably never even thought about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I mean, I talk about it often, and this was a lesson from one of my mentors about the hamster wheel, right?
Mhm.
That's the system that we live in. We grow up, we're like taught, like, wake up, go to work, earn money, pay your rent, eat dinner, go to sleep, wake up again, do the whole thing, and you just wake up and you jump on that hamster wheel. And he
Mhm.
was a mentor and a meditation coach, and it was like, because that was his job
Mm.
to tell you, okay, you came to my class here for an hour, so get off the hamster wheel, like
Yeah.
you came here, like do it, like, commit to the intention. And it's really awesome when you can do that, and commit to getting
Yeah.
off that hamster wheel for an hour, or even
Absolutely.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, some people say they meditate for 5 minutes a day, and that's all
Mhm.
they need, you know what I mean? What's up, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Good to see you out there. So
Um,
so where can we see the magazine? I guess at edifyyoursoul.com we can see the
yes, there's a
magazine.
link on there, or you could go to edifyyoursoulmagazine.com.
Okay. Love.
And yeah, there's really great content in there. For the domestic violence issue, I had the honor of interviewing Gabby Petito's mom and stepmom and grandmother.
Oh, wow.
We talk about forgiveness, and
Oh, I love that.
it's it's amazing. I just love talking to people and hearing their stories, and I think the biggest thing is we find out that we are more alike than we've ever realized.
Yeah, totally. So done with the hamster wheel. Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah. And you know what?
absolutely.
It's not really like, the hamster wheel is not so horrible. It's just, you got to put it in its perspective, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like, there are, we do got to kind of work, right? So what was, I screwed this up the last time, the saying of chop wood, carry water. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water.
yeah.
After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, right?
Mhm.
And I love that saying, and I was saying boil water or something silly. I
Yeah,
said the thing wrong. But yeah, I think there are certain necessities, right? You got to work. Like, let's just say we wipe out the industrial age and we go back to the time where we're surviving off the land. Life was
yeah.
not so easy. You had to build your home and do all of these things. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's all about perspective, I think.
Absolutely. We have
Yes,
Evie
yes,
saying,
she's live in California.
"Oh, yep, you
Yes,
read the one about grief. That's awesome."
nice, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Um, so I don't know if you realize I've just been shuffling these cards
I
this
did
like
not realize that.
last
So
few minutes. I
you
don't
know what?
know. I kept
I don't know if
grabbing
you
them.
realize. I don't know if you realize, but I was about to ask you if you feel like doing a reading.
I do, but I want to show you. These are my cards.
Okay,
So
let's see what you. Oh, you
this
have
is
your own deck.
I have a couple of decks. This is my
Oh,
latest deck, Soul on
hold on a
Fire.
second. Hold on. Let me highlight you there. There you go. Go ahead.
And it is for sale if you want your own.
Very nice. Soul on
I love
fire.
it, of
So is
course.
this an oracle deck, an angel deck?
It's an oracle deck,
Okay.
yep. And
Okay.
this is the back of the cards.
Wow.
I'm just a little obsessed with roses.
Okay.
And yeah, I created them. So
So tell us
these
about that. What did you do to create
these are
these decks?
them. The most things that have been the things that have been the most successful in my life, I usually have the idea and execute it about 3 seconds after.
Okay.
And that's what I did. That's how the magazine went. I just woke up one day and said I'm doing this,
I love it.
and it happened. So I of course I love this deck, but I really love it because it's about self-love, it's
Mm,
about self-respect, and it gives you things to think about. doesn't tell you what to do.
Right. Holds up a mirror, each card, right?
Yeah,
I love that.
absolutely. Would you like me to pick you a card?
Yep, please.
Okay. Me too. Jennifer wants one. Okay. Your fire deserves someone who won't fear the heat.
Oh.
So I would say, you were talking about this before and how you can't have certain conversations with everyone. I would say it's been a process and a journey for you finding your people and your tribe and the people that you can share this stuff with.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say keep going with that. I think you still have a lot of, and I don't know anything about you, but I think you have a lot more people to meet on this path and a lot more directions to explore.
Mm. I would say
So
that's accurate.
people, if they fear your heat, they're just not your people.
Yep.
Just,
Yep.
send them love and keep going, right?
Yep, absolutely. And that's what I do.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. And now you've opened up the can of worms. People are seeing that you're doing readings. Everybody wants one. I know.
Okay. Jennifer
Jennifer said she
wanted
meant
it
that she loved tires
first.
too, but she would love a card.
Oh, shit. All right, Jennifer, you're getting the card.
Yeah, I love that. That's so funny.
Oh, and this is funny to say to another medium, but this is so true. Your soul knows when it is safe. Never doubt your intuition.
Mm.
So that's perfect for you, Jennifer,
Beautiful.
because even though we could be amazing mediums for ourselves, we tend to doubt ourselves. And that's, I know it's gotten me into some trouble in the past when I didn't trust myself. Okay, let's see. Give me some names here. Who are we going to next? Can we go back in
I saw
order?
some people. I saw Amy asking for a card, and Tobin. Let's go with Amy.
Okay, I'm gonna pull one for Amy, and then this one's for Tobin. Amy, some dances are just for you. I have a feeling you have a lot of things in the works, things you're planning, things you're doing, things you're wanting to do. And I would say this might be the time to keep some of them to yourself while you're still creating. This dance might be just for you. I think you have a big heart. I think you like to include a lot of people, but consider keeping some things a little bit more private just for now until you sort of sort through everything. And I'd love to hear feedback if you can all tell
Yes,
me, what you
validation is
thought.
always great. If it makes sense to you, if you're resonating with what Laurie's saying, then certainly let us know.
Tobin, this is for you. Some chapters are closed, so you can begin again.
Mm-hmm.
Reflecting on your past is great. Understanding why we are who we are and why we are doing what we did. But we also get to close those chapters.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you've been through, Tobin, be proud of it, own it, but you also get to move on. Don't let anyone keep you hostage for anything you've ever done in your past. Be proud of it. It's made you who you are.
Love it.
Again, let me know some feedback.
Feels,
okay,
yes.
Who do we have? Amy. And who else?
Oh, I think you did Amy. Let's do
we did Amy.
Yes.
Yes.
I see there's Katie and there's CJ. I see you looking here. So I don't know which one you're feeling.
Katie and then CJ. Katie, stand in the middle of your truth, no matter how deep it runs. So, Katie, you are someone that can make change in this world. You are that person that should not ever back down because the world needs to hear your voice. Not your opinion, but your voice. And by that, I mean, you don't need to get people to agree with you, but your presence, I feel, is so strong yet gentle and beautiful. And I feel like you will model a way of thinking and acting for people. And it just makes me think about all the stuff that's going on in the world. And it feels like just by being you, people will be drawn to sort of react the same way.
That's awesome. That's powerful.
Okay, and this was the CJ, the next one?
CJ, yes, may I have a
Okay.
card?
Love yourself like someone worth staying for. So if you want to attract the right people, the right person, your person, love yourself so much that you'll be modeling what you're looking for in other people.
Yes. And
anything else just won't be accepted.
Wise words. I love it. I love these readings. I know I have Tobin says thank you. I feel it's relevant. I felt maybe I haven't processed things because I'm very positive. I've been in a space where I've been trying to go things in my past and I actually feel it, but I'm coming to learn that maybe I'm okay with it and don't need any more reflection.
Yes.
There you go. Beautiful.
Moving forward.
And I have Ninja Kitty has been with me since day one. For a card as well.
Ninja Kitty, when you love yourself unconditionally, you will accept nothing less from anyone else. It's a lot about self-love here. Yeah. Everyone can learn a little bit about this. And I mean, it speaks for itself. When you love yourself for the good, the bad, and everything else. I mean, I never thought I would get to the point where I could say I love myself for the depression. I love myself for the bad decisions. You got to just love it all. Comes in one big package.
Do you remember that moment that you felt that way?
What's that?
Well, I know for me, for self-love was a very important thing. And there was a standard I had set for myself to when I looked in the mirror. Now, I don't have any kids personally, but I have nephews and nieces, and I grew up, I've had kids grow up around me, and I feel like I certainly understand the significance of having a child, and I can only imagine what it feels like to gaze upon my child, right? To look at my child.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt was that I needed to see when I looked at myself in the mirror. And
wow.
Yeah. And I didn't, when I set that standard for myself, I was like, no, I don't feel that. And it became kind of this, not an aspiration, but it definitely became an awareness. And then as I did different work, I do remember the moment I walked past the mirror and I caught my reflection and I felt it. I felt that love. I said, wow. It was significantly different. Some whatever it was that had shifted in me, became apparent in that goal, in that context, I guess.
I do lots of talks. I talk. I do speeches and stuff like that. Today, when I spoke about depression, it was different. I think because I really wanted people to know, yes, this is Depression Awareness Month. I'm doing, this special. I want to help as many people. But this is the very first time I spoke publicly about the people that turned their back on me. And this is the first time that I spoke about it at all without any feelings of hurt or disgust or anything like that. I'm grateful.
Awesome.
And I'm grateful for that lesson. So that defining moment, Michael, 10 minutes ago.
I love that. That's amazing, Laurie. That's so cool. And I
Because
love
here
that.
I am saying, I'm here to help all of you and support you.
Yeah,
How else could I be? This is part of me.
yeah,
Love me or not, that's okay.
yeah. I love that.
So
I love that. I
thank
love
you.
that you. I love that you felt the difference.
Yeah,
When you said the words, the vibration, right? Vibration, frequency. It's all there. It
yeah.
is. Wow. Wow.
So thank you,
All right. Well,
Michael.
we can call it a night then. We're done. Our work is done here. No, that's really amazing. And again, that's really kind of my quest, right? When I was saying it's controversial and choosing to be depressed or not, it wasn't about that. It wasn't saying, oh, you could choose this. It was just about being aware and being intentional,
Yeah.
with your energy, in
Hmm.
general, and what a difference it would make. I know for me, it makes all of the difference. um so and Jennifer says, I love you, Laurie.
I love you, Jennifer. Wait, I have to do this quick one for Jenny
Sure.
Smith.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And Tim is out there saying,
Maybe it's something in the name. Before I even pulled it, Jenny, I wanted to say, you got this. You got this. Like I want to jump through the screen. And it says, if your energy is low, you might be carrying someone else's burden. I think you might carry a lot of people's burdens. I feel like you are very intuitive. You pick up on other people, but what you're going through does not define you.
Mhm.
Don't let it.
Love it. I love it. Awesome.
Um,
So much intuition and wisdom all in one place.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Do I have time for Tim?
Tim, you know what? I'm gonna ask for a card for Tim.
I thought Tim said yes.
Well, Tim said he's sorry, man. Taryn's uncle had to have his foot amputated. Tim
Oh,
Tim is Tim
sorry.
is the warrior of surviving everything that comes his way. So
Oh,
but yeah, I think we should give Tim a card.
all right. You do not belong in anyone's shadow, Tim.
Ooh, I love that,
No
Tim.
explanation needed,
Yeah,
right?
I love that. I love that,
Oh, I
Jenny.
still have my paint. Look, I was painting today. I still have it on my finger. Oops.
That's awesome. And then Sunrise Jesus, I love the name Sunrise Jesus. Is saying very nicely. Card, please. And
Okay.
we'll call this one the last one, and then we'll wrap it up with some words of
You
love and
actually,
wisdom.
this is a repeat. Some
Oh,
chapters are closed, so you can begin again. I think we can all learn something from that today.
mhm.
We get to reinvent ourselves every day. Close the chapter.
Absolutely.
We did it. We learned it.
Absolutely.
Let's move
And
on.
you know what? The thing I noticed too about being around intuitives and readings and loving the energy all the time is I think the messages are always for anybody who's listening. You know what I mean? Even though we
Oh,
may be pulling a
absolutely.
card for someone specific, I think everybody hearing that message can relate to
Yes.
it somehow and apply it to their life.
And these can really be great messages for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. We all could hold up a little mirror a little bit every day and just take a look at ourselves and just get more comfortable with who we are,
Hmm.
love ourselves just a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Tim says, I love that. Thank you. Laura, you've been really awesome to talk to. I'm
Thank you
so
so
happy
much.
that we
This is
met. This,
great.
this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you. Thank you for opening yourself up to doing some readings.
And thank you. And thank you for my moment.
And your moment, yes. Holding space for Laurie.
That was really great.
Let me switch spots with you. There we go. Back to my normal place. So what have you got coming up that you might want to tell anybody about before we close out the show?
I have a few new classes coming up if you go to my website.
Mhm.
And I'm hosting some classes with some guest tutors the end of this year, next year. So expanding a lot. And of course, the cards, if you want to check them out, I'd love the support.
Awesome. And I always ask for any like words of wisdom or of love or boom dad joke. You have any of that for us?
3 words. My coach used to say this to me all the time. And now as an adult, I actually recently engraved it in a watch for him. And I told him he has no idea how much those words used to help me. And it's don't give up.
Don't give up. Beautiful. That's why I asked for the at this end of the show, because everybody's got a little tidbit. Everybody's got something
Don't
to
give
add
up.
to the
And
pile of inspiration
yeah,
and hope. Don't give up.
those words helped me so much. And like I said, I had the opportunity to give it back to him as an adult, which is
That's
pretty
amazing.
cool.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, again, you've been wonderful.
Thank you.
We're
Thanks,
getting ready to
everyone.
go.
Okay.
On Thursday on the live stream of consciousness, I will have Suri Sawyer with me, a wonderful guest from the Sacred Spiral Network, coming over to the live stream for the night. And then next week, more great stuff from Kelly Brickle. She's been giving me some amazing guests, and it's always an amazing moment when we have you guys here all intentionally bringing your energy, and we have a beautiful guest like Laurie Smith, and we just share our moment. So thank you guys for being here. And Jennifer Rose says, don't give up.
Thank you.
No matter what you do, don't give up. I will see all you beautiful souls on Thursday and next Tuesday here on Holding Space. Have a great night. Bye, guys.
Bye.